doctors and dentists who show discrimination toward HIV/AIDS patients. And problem is discrimination. A lot of shops which do tattoos and piercing refuse to provide unawareness. Reason is unawareness and problem is discrimination leading towards death of AIDS patient. My plan has 2 steps. It is divided in 2 portions. First one is we need a law for providing moral support and security to AIDS patients applicable to each country and represented by each nation. But you may ask a question that how? How we can make a new plan? How can we make a new act, new law? We students. But these sorts of laws already being followed by different countries in different places. For example, in Australia, in Canada, in UK, in USA, and some other countries. But there are some drawbacks of these plans. For example, you can see that these plans only represent special nation, a special state. For example, there is a case in Canada that they have a law, but this law is being obeyed only in one state. Okay, so problem is this that these laws are for specific states, specific countries. Second drawback is this that these are not redefined. These are not defined properly. For example, these are for disabled person, and HIV patients are not included in disabled patients. But my point is this that HIV patient is also a disabled person, not physically, but he has a covered disability and unseen disability. He must enjoy the facilities which are provided to other disabled persons. So we need to make a law. How will we make a law? We don't need to make a law. This law is already present in United Nations Human Rights Council. United Nations Human Rights Council, previously it was called as United Nations Commissioner's Office. In 2006 it was made United Nations Human Rights Council. What is the purpose of making this United Nations Human Rights Council? United Nations Human Rights Council has made international human rights law. International human rights law is being defined in different conventions. For example, Convention on the Elimination of All Sorts of Discrimination Against Women, United Nations Convention Against Torture, Convention on the Rights of Child, Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which was introduced on 3rd of May 2008. Now in this convention's report, rights of disabled persons were defined. My demand is to redefine this convention's report. Next. My demand from this step is to redefine the report. Next. Second step. My second step, second step is related with WTO, World Trade Organization. I want to request from WTO. What is the function of WTO? World Trade Organization. It allows developed countries to do trade freely with each other. They don't have to pay import-export subsidies. They don't have to pay extra charges to buy something from other country or sell something to those countries. So my demand is to redefine this act of this WTO. We should allow not only developed countries but also poor countries to demand AIDS medication from developing countries without paying extra charges, import-export subsidies. So it will provide benefit to poor countries and they will get medication from those countries without paying extra charges and without burdening their budget. So there are some benefits from my plan. We need to explain the international human rights law made during Convention of Rights of Persons with Disabilities. This must include this thing in the act that AIDS patients look like normal person, but they have a disability, a covered disability, a secret disability, and they must enjoy the same facilities provided to other physical disabled persons, like some quotas in job, special concessions in governmental services, or most important, moral support, social security. No, you can see that it is not, you haven't seen that nobody, a doctor, for example, there was a question raised by our fellow student, discrimination by doctor. allowed to write outside his clinic that I will see blind patient in last meeting. And why it is being written for AIDS patient that he will be visited by a doctor in last meeting. So it is a discrimination need and act. So for applying this plan from this hall, we can start a letter writing campaign. Letter writing campaign, what is this letter writing campaign? I have a sample letter here. We can distribute this letter to my fellow students and students from other universities. They can get signature from their fellow students. We can get a lot of signatures in which we demand to redefine the international human rights law and act of WTO. We will gather this thousands of letters, thousands of signatures, and we'll give these letters to United Nations office in Bishkek. And this United Nations office in Bishkek will send this report to United Nations Human Rights Council for redefining the law. So that's all.